See these? Kleenexes. I'm just gonna set these right there for you. Right there, right in front of you, because what we're gonna talk about is, rather sad. Very, very sad. And it is so saddening that it just makes you want to curl up into a ball, roll on the ground, and weep. We're talking about RWBY, of course! Hey, everybody out there in YouTube land, Jake on the OneManBand is back again, and welcome to another RWBY episodic review. This time, looking at episode 8 of volume 3, Destiny. Now, really quick, just wanted to say, trying out a new angle of the camera. Hope you guys like it, and hopefully it works out well, and I can do more along the lines of this angle. But let's get to the actual breaking down of this episode. Now, against my better judgment of the series, Yang is interested. Well, not technically. The beginning of the episode starts out with her and her team in their dorm room being talked to by General Ironwood. Now, I would imagine, like back in the earlier episodes, when we saw what Yang did to Mercury, I instantly went to, they're going to arrest her and put her in a jail cell. But it looks like they didn't go to that extreme. She seems to be on some form of house arrest. Now, the main reason I thought that she was going to be put into a cell is not so much that they believed her to be dangerous, but to protect her from the outlash of other people. But I guess she would be just as safe in her dorm room. But by the way Ironwood is talking to the team, he wants to believe Yang. He wants to believe that what she is saying is true, and that she didn't just blast Mercury's leg for no reason. But he goes on to say that sometimes adrenaline and just the high of the battle gets the better of you, and you see things that aren't really there. And this can lead to very bad things. Now, when he said this, he made a motion with his shoulder and looked to his right arm, to which, if you guys pay attention, his right arm is the one that is always gloved. So we believe that it is mechanical. So is it possible that there was a time in the past where he was overcome by stress and adrenaline on the battlefield, which led to him losing his arm and maybe harming another huntsman in some way? I definitely believe so, yes. That is how he lost his arm, and he holds that with him. So he kind of understands what Yang is going through, but he knows that he cannot let her go scot-free. As he says, the public has made their own conclusions to what has happened. The press got to it. It was witnessed by millions of people. So no matter what he does, he's not going to quell the public's opinion. So it is with this that we learn Team RWBY is disqualified from the tournament. So no member of Team RWBY is going to go into the finals round. None of that. They're disqualified. Out. Probably until the next Vital Festival tournament, if there ever is going to even be one. So with that, he leaves Team RWBY to talk amongst themselves. Now, Yang asked the team whether if they believe her, and against what I thought, most of them actually do. They say, yeah, we believe you 100%. You're hot-headed, but you're not crazy. You know, Weiss says that, which kind of threw me off. I'm like, how can they believe Yang when they witnessed it? What I came to the conclusion of what they're saying is that she didn't do it on purpose. Like, she didn't purposely knock out his leg for reasons. They probably believe she did it by accident, something went awry. That's why I think that they believe her. But Blake isn't so much just a believer like the other two. And it's in this moment that we see that Yang is breaking down into tears at the thought of her partner not believing her story.
I want to believe you.
Huh? What's that supposed to mean?
Blake?
Just kiss already! Let it be known that Jake of the One-Man Band does not support the Bumblebee ship at all. But Blake has reasons why she wouldn't just blindly believe Blake. Because of Adam. Blake pretty much went through the same exact thing with Adam. Adam said that things were getting to him. It started out with very small things, but through those small things, he began to change, and he became the monster, the beast that he is now. And so Blake is afraid that that's going to start happening to Yang. So she wants Yang to tell her, to her face, what really happened. So Yang does, and Blake takes it in stride. Now, I'm not sure if Blake truly believes her after what Yang said, or if she's just playing along. We'll have to wait for future episodes to see what she truly thinks. But Blake, I like this about Blake. She's more mature in this way of thinking. She just won't take somebody's word blindly when something like has obviously happened in front of her face to make her think otherwise. I think Blake is a smarter person for doing that. I'm not saying that Weiss or Ruby are dumb or not smart or anything like that. It's just that they have less life experiences that would make them generate that kind of idea of thinking. So Yang, she wants to be alone. So Team RWBY goes ahead and leaves her alone in the room. And we see that Team Juniper is also concerned for Yang. And it's through their communication that we learn that it was said that Mercury's team went back to Haven with him to be with his family and help him recover. Now, we obviously know that's not true because they're actually bad guys and have this whole plan set up. And we know that Emerald and Cinder are going to be coming back to the tournament to mess things up. But we'll touch on that more later. So, now that Yang is out of the fight, Team RWBY wants Pyrrha to win the tournament for Vale. You know, they're rooting for her. They're like, Pyrrha, yeah, you gotta win now. You know, trying to get over kind of this terrible thing that happened and kind of get back to being, you know, happy and all that stuff. But Pyrrha, she puts on a face and says, okay, yeah, I'll do that. But we know a lot is on Pyrrha's mind. Pyrrha is breaking inside. We know this. But she still puts on a brave face for Team RWBY in respect for Yang. That just goes to show that even with everything that's going on with Pyrrha, she is still trying to be that friend, that willing friend that will help anyone. So it's time for Team RWBY to exit stage right, if you will. RWBY says that she's gonna go back to the tournament to catch some more fights, but Weiss and Blake, they're not really up for that. They're gonna go have drinks together.
Coffee?
Tea.
Just kiss already! Let it be known that Jake does not support the monochrome or checkmate ship at all. So this leaves us with just Team Juniper. I actually like it how they segued it from like Team RWBY and then Team RWBY and Team Juniper and then just Team Juniper. I thought that was a nice transition. So then it's just Team Juniper in their dorm room and Nora, she's gonna get Pyrrha pumped up for the finals. Cause Pyrrha, she's gotta be #1 and Nora going to work her out. And you know, Nora lifts the weight. That was a ton. Like literally a ton. Both the dumbbells said 1,000. So I can only guess that those are pounds. Nora can lift a ton. She is very, very strong. So Nora offers Pyrrha words of encouragement and wants to pump her up. While Ren takes a more calm approach to Pyrrha. He wants to help her in a way of providing her with nutrition. We do know that Ren is a bit of a cook. He's been able to make pancakes in the past, so it isn't much of a stretch that he would have like food and herbal knowledge. So he offers Pyrrha like a green energy, highly healthy shake juice stuff. To which Nora tries and she vomits in the trash bin. It's just funny. This whole segment is funny. Down to Ren's, please do not do anything with the cook apron instead of kiss the cook apron, because we all know that Nora would get up on that. And then it just segues into Ren and Nora just like bickering about the smallest of things. It's just showing how well Team Juniper clicks.
We're supposed to help her and not poison her.
There was absolutely nothing wrong with that.
If it looks the same coming up as it does going down, then there's something wrong.
Just kiss already! But before things get too crazy, Team Juniper goes on a walk. To which we then go back to Yang in her dorm room, and Crow just magics his way into the dorm room. We didn't hear the door open, he didn't come through the window, because Yang was looking out the window. He just magics his way in. He's a magician. And I love the nickname that he uses for Yang. He says, how you doing, you little firecracker? Now that may have been in poor taste due to what she just did to someone, but it sounds like it was a nickname that he had for her when she was young. Like it's a pet kid name, a pet kid nickname. We then have the line that we saw in the trailer, you know, either you're lying or you're crazy, to which he replies that she isn't lying. So obviously Yang is crazy, but crazy never really did anything wrong for anyone. I mean, there's bad kinds of crazy, and then there's good kinds of crazy. Yang falls into the good kind of crazy category. Now, before we get into the next part, something I want to bring up is that during the past few episodes, I've been lashing out at Yang. And some of you people are wondering why. Why am I doing this? Why am I picking on Yang so much? It's not because I don't like Yang. I love Yang as a character. And that's why I'm doing it. Because I know that Yang is the only member of Team RWBY that could take something like this and come out of it pretty much all right. If RWBY was in Yang's shoes, she'd break down. If Weiss was in Yang's shoes, she'd fight it. If Blake was in Yang's shoes, she'd run away from it. Pretty much the reason I've been like hammering into Yang and all this kind of stuff the past few weeks is because I respect her character so much. So with that out of the way, let's talk about Crow talking about Raven. So Crow does confirm in the series that Raven is indeed Yang's mom, and that Raven was the person who was on the train when Yang had the battle with Neo. Now, we already knew that Raven was Yang's mom due to context clues and all this kind of stuff. But this pretty much like confirms it, stamp of approval in the series, said by a character. It's done. And we also learn that Raven has actually kept in touch with Crow, although not like buddy-buddy, good communication. It's very shoddy. He gets a message from her every once in a while. And during Crow's last assignment, Raven got a message to him through an informant, so through a middleman. Now let it also be known that when Yang hears about Crow actually being in touch with Raven, she didn't know about this. She asks Crow, that's real? You really are? This leads me to believe that Tai Yang told Yang that no communication with Raven whatsoever, like not at all, not even with Crow. So I think that Tai Yang is keeping Raven sort of out of Yang's life through that way, or something along those lines, because due to the way that she reacts, it's obvious that she didn't know about this. And that would kind of be something that you would tell Yang when it's like, oh yes, your mother, she talks with her brother, who is your uncle. Like, you would tell her that. But no, she did not know about it. So Tai Yang was keeping that from her. And the message that Crow received from Raven was directed at Yang. And the message was that she saved her once, but she shouldn't expect that kind of kindness later on, like ever again. So something tells me that Raven isn't Mom of the Year material. So this kind of shoots down all of the the ideas of Raven, like, oh, she wanted to be a mother, but she had to leave to go do something, or anything along those lines. Because if that was the case, then she would, you know, actually send a little bit more than just like, oh, I saved you once, but I'm not gonna do it again. She would send something like, hey, I saved you, are you alright? And, you know, I'll always look after you. You know, something like that. And it's here that we learn that Raven perceives the world much differently than Crow. But it doesn't seem that Crow holds like hatred or animosity towards his sister like I thought he would. By the way he talks and the way he acts, it's almost as if he pities her. He pities his sister, and he's like sad because of their condition. Like he says, he doesn't agree with the way that she perceives the world, and he even goes as far as to tell Yang that she's dangerous. Raven is dangerous. Why would you say that about your own sister? Unless it was true. It was absolutely true, and you didn't want to put your niece in harm's way because of it. So, this is confirming that Raven is indeed a person who is surrounded by danger or is dangerous herself. And it is through this talk that Crow tells Yang that she should be prepared to move on from this. Move on from what exactly? Beacon? Being a huntress? And he pretty much tells Yang that he would help her track down Raven if she wished. But we don't see what Yang's reaction to this is. So we don't know what she would choose. Now, obviously, there are two choices. One, she goes. Two, she doesn't. Now, we have seen that she has gone to great lengths to try to find her mother before, back in Volume 2, when she was telling Blake that story about her as a young child. But Yang has other obligations now. She is part of a team. She is training to be a huntress. And then there's RWBY. Would RWBY even be able to function if Yang left? Let's just say that the pros and the cons for each one of these is very, very high. And either one of these possibilities is very much possible. Well, we've talked enough about Yang. Let's get on to the real sad stuff. We then rejoin Team Juniper, or one member of Team Juniper, Pyrrha. She's just sitting there away from her team, away from the fairgrounds, contemplating, thinking, because there's a lot on her mind actually with the Maiden Revolution a few episodes ago. There's even Maple Leaf symbolism comes in. And it lands right next to her, and it's like, why? Stop it! Stop making me sad! But, da-da-da, Knight in Shining Armor Jean comes and presents her with some cotton candy. Now, it's not so much as a big gesture, but it's a friendly gesture, a kind gesture. He obviously is caring for her and cares about her. Now, Jean has been pretty much a bench character for this volume so far. This is the one episode that he's really had a very strong presence in, besides the episode where him and his team are battling. Now, we see that Jean and Pyrrha get some alone time together. Nora sees that Jean is actually gonna do something about it, takes the hint, and, you know, takes Ren away back to the fairgrounds. They have to get something about a stuffed animal. So Jean decides that he's going to be there for Pyrrha. He is there to help her and to listen to her, to help her through these trying times. Of course, he doesn't know why she's like this. He can probably think that maybe it's due to stress because of the tournament. But it doesn't matter why he's doing it. It matters that he is doing it. He goes on to say that Pyrrha was the first person who ever believed in him. Even his parents said that they would be totally prepared of him moving back home when he didn't make it at Beacon. And since he says parents, that's pretty much assuming mother and father. So I guess my theory about Jean's father being dead is kind of dead in the water. Oh well, it was a cool theory at the time, and the video had an awesome intro. But enough about theories in the past. Let's talk about the important stuff, like hand touching! There's hands touching! They're hands touching! Oh my god! That was pretty much my reaction when I first watched the episode. Literally. Like, I wish I was filming myself. And before you go off, no, that doesn't mean I'm gonna do live reactions of RWBY videos. So Jean is just being that awesome guy, being that person that is just there to be there. He isn't saying everything's gonna be okay. He isn't, saying any of those empty words. He is just there to comfort her, to be a shoulder to cry on. And speaking of shoulders to cry on, she uses his shoulder as a pillow. Yes, it's so cute, and even when she does it, he is surprised by it, but he's okay with it. Now just really quick, to all those people out there that want to ship Jean with like Weiss or anyone besides Pyrrha, just look at this picture for a second and tell me, why would you ever think that? This is a beautiful thing.
You're already doing it.
Come on! Just kiss already! And more maple leaves fall down near Pyrrha, more maple leaf fall maiden symbolism. Stop it! They're having a moment, damn it! But Pyrrha knows that she can't just sit here and have this moment. It is sad that she cannot have this moment with Jean because of what is going on in the world. And so she talks about destiny. No, not that destiny. Pyrrha believes that destiny isn't a journey. Pyrrha believes that destiny is a goal. It's something that in the end you get to, not a long and arduous road that you take. She says that she always believed her destiny was to be a huntress and to protect the world. But she says that she feels like there's something in between her and her destiny. Now this is sad because we don't know what she truly means by this. We don't know if the thing standing between her and her destiny is this whole Amber Fall seasonal maiden thing or Jean. We don't know which one she's talking about. And Pyrrha, she doesn't know what to do in this scenario. This is the first time we've really had her in a scenario where she didn't know what to do. She wasn't sure what to do. So Jean gives his advice. He says that the Pyrrha Nikos he knows wouldn't back down from a challenge and would go and seize her destiny. Now let me tell you, these words, they're not wrong. Jean is speaking from the heart, and even though they're meant to be words of encouragement, they're also words of damnation. With these words, Jean is pretty much telling Pyrrha that she should go and become the seasonal maiden and give up pretty much any thought of her being with him, because she cannot have both. Not with the type of power that the fall seasonal maiden will give her, and the fact that she will be fused with another person's soul. That is why it is sad. The one couple that we have watched see grow through all these 3 seasons is falling apart without it ever truly beginning. This is the sad thing about this whole thing. With Jean's reply, Pyrrha breaks down. She's crying. She is sad. And, he wants to help her, but she lashes out and uses her semblance and pins him against the wall. Now, this is actually pretty important. It shows that the armor pieces that he has on are indeed metal. Now, I know a lot of you guys are gonna be thinking, oh, of course they're metal, they're freaking armor, freaking idiot. But it's stuff like this that are really, small little things are important to know. Because, for all we know, those could have been some sort of, polyamor, hardened plastic. We didn't know that they were full-blown metal, but now we truly know. So, the little things. Also, this shows that when emotions are high and just out of control, semblances are faulty. They act almost at random. Like what Winter was telling Weiss earlier on in the volume. Emotions can help you, but they can also cloud your judgment. And due to Pyrrha's emotions being out of whack, she didn't mean to use her semblance against Jean, it just happened. So Pyrrha runs off crying, leaving Jean wondering what he said. What was wrong with that? Nothing was wrong with that, Johnny boy. It was all context, and you, damn it, you deserve to be happy. And then the next part. Oh, the next part. It isn't sad. It's a fulfillment of prophecy. For we get to see something that we have been waiting an entire volume to see. There have been many speculations, many ideas, many theories about this next part. RWBY goes to see Velvet, and we see Velvet has an item. Oh, and that item, my friends. So RWBY is just taking a walk and she comes across Velvet, because, you know, we have to have more Velvet in our freaking RWBY, yes we do. And Velvet is taking pictures with a camera. Now this camera, it's sort of an old-fashioned model type camera, but it's really cool because she's just taking pictures with it, working on her photography, she says. And she shows RWBY a couple pictures. The pictures aren't really all that good. She doesn't even get the guy's face. She was taking pictures of Sun. But you see, that's not the point. She doesn't take pictures of people. Her focus of this picture was the weapon. And this camera is Velvet's weapon. Now, I can already see the many theories and explanations about how this is a camera and how it is a weapon and all that. But let me throw in my 2 cents. So her weapon is a camera that takes pictures of weapons. Now, she also still has the box. And obviously this is RWBY. So that camera can unfold into a masterful, amazing thing. But here's what I think the camera actually does. With a picture taken, she can analyze that weapon. And inside the camera, it can analyze it. And it can recreate the weapon. The camera isn't just a camera. It is a 3D modeling constructor. And it reconstructs weapons. So it seems that Velvet can almost reconstruct any weapon that she can take a picture of. Doesn't that sound freaking cool? But of course, there's still the fact that Monty stated that she's a form of a spellcaster. So does that mean that the picture has some sort of maybe a flashbang capability or can discombobulate people? We haven't seen it in combat yet, but we can speculate on what it can do. And 3D printing is what I'm speculating. So that, my friends, was a fulfillment of prophecy. It was a long time coming, and it was kind of just slipped in there. Just like, oh, here you go. Like, oh, yeah, you know that thing about Velvet's weapon? Yeah, here it is. Here it is. We give you a little bit more. I mean, last time, we just showed it was a box. This time, we showed you that inside the box was a camera. You know, what does it really do? We don't know. But there is still another important reason for this scene. Because Velvet is comforting RWBY. She said, hey, I feel for your sister. I know she isn't, crazy like that. She wouldn't just do that, but sometimes on the battlefield, stress, it gets to you. And you say things that aren't there. Even Coco, goes crazy sometimes. But that little bit of information, that catches RWBY's ear. RWBY's smarter than she's given credit for. She's pretty much like Scooby-Doo. Or, the Scooby-Doo gang. So Velvet drops the hint that Coco had some form of hallucination when she was fighting Emerald and Mercury.
Mercury.
Look, girl, don't argue with me.
Mercury.
I will eat you.
She tells RWBY that Coco said that she saw Yatsuhashi in the forest during their fight, but he didn't make it out of the geyser fields. We know that. So RWBY thinks, well, that's weird, that's suspicious. But I don't think she really makes a true connection. She knows it's suspicious, yes, but she doesn't put the connections together yet. But it's there. She'll eventually put it together, I believe. And so we get to see that we are back at the arena and another finals match is about to start. So RWBY takes a seat because she wants to have a front row seat for another finals fight. And she's just sitting there, getting ready for the fight. But across the way, she sees Emerald. Why is Emerald there? Emerald is supposed to be back at Haven with Mercury. Why is she there? And it's here that she starts putting something together. She's like, something isn't right. You know, some weird's going on. So she leaves the stadium. And I don't know why she went into the maintenance corridor. Maybe she's trying to get a teacher or Ozpin or get up to the booth with Oobleck and Port. I'm not sure what she was thinking, but she leaves the arena and goes into a maintenance hallway. But Mercury stops her. Now, I don't know why. It's like in the last episode, we just heard that, like, Mercury, you gotta lay low, because if anybody sees you walking, you know, stuff's gonna be bad. But there he is, he's just walking around. Why? What? Why? Is he supposed to be there? Is he there just because he wanted to be? I just think it was a really stupid, you know, why drop that thing in the previous episode where it's like, Mercury, we can't have you walking around, you know, on your legs. Can't have that because, you know, then people will see, oh, well, he isn't really hurt. When he's just gonna be in the next episode stopping Ruby from doing whatever she does. I mean, I don't know, maybe I'm getting too angry about this, but it's still crazy. So it's here that Ruby finally puts it together. Something's not right with Emerald and Mercury. They're up to something. She knows this. But what is she gonna be able to do about it? Pretty much nothing. When she finally puts it together, she instantly goes to grab Crescent Rose. But Crescent Rose isn't there. She doesn't have her weapon. Ruby, what is wrong with you? You couldn't be detached from that thing in Volume 1, and now you don't have it? Why? So Ruby is weaponless, she's being faced down by Mercury, and we hear who is going to be fighting in the next round. Pyrrha versus Penny. Now, we hear what Penny's last name is, like Palatina or something like that. I don't know if there's a relevance to that. If you guys know of one, be sure to leave it in the comments. And if I figure anything else, like anything out about it, it'll be on the screen. But as of me recording it right now, I don't know what it really means. But we indeed know the horror of Pyrrha fighting Penny. Pyrrha has a power over magnetism. And Penny is made of metal. And we know that magnets stick to her. So she is made of magnetic metal. So it's bad. With Pyrrha being in the state that she's in, Penny, she can be controlled by Cinder because Cinder has gained access to her systems. We know this. Let me just say that one of them, Pyrrha or Penny, isn't going to be walking out of that arena. In the next episode, I believe someone is gonna die. With this fight, Cinder is gonna use her new toy to take out the person that she listed back in Volume 2. She's going to kill two birds with one stone. And whether Pyrrha comes out victorious or Penny comes out victorious, one of them is gonna lose everything. Hey, everybody out there. Hey, it's the end of my review. It was a long one. Holy crap. I mean, it better be long. Feels long. Took like 4 pages of notes. Most of them are like only 2 pages of notes. This one was a lot. So let me tell you what you can do now that the video is pretty much over. You can check out my Facebook group, Team Theory, where you can go and put your crackpot theories about RWBY or Star Wars or anything you like there and have other like-minded crackpots, comment on them so that we can build off of theories and build them up to be good and strong. Team Theory, where theories eat their greens. Get strong. Or if you wish, you can check out my Patreon page if you want to support me in that way. And I just want to say big thanks to all my Patreon sponsors, especially Duncan Ishler and Grant Allen Hill. Thank you very much for supporting me once again on Patreon. And hey, if Facebook and Patreon aren't really your fancy, you can hit that like button if you really want to, or You can even subscribe, but only if you feel inclined to. So like and favorite if you've enjoyed, and leave your comments down below. I take, comments, questions, and even crackpot theories down there as well. So until next time, I want you to be a good person, tip your waitresses, keep moving forward, and I'll see you next time. I'm out there in YouTube land. I'll see you then. Yeah.